Today, I'm going to talk about 10 things you can do to stimulate your 10th cranial nerve, commonly known as your vagus nerve, in order to promote ease, relief, and healing. If you have irritable bowel syndrome or some other digestive issue or some other type of physiological problem, or you're experiencing stress or anxiety, then you should care about stimulating your vagus nerve. Hello, and welcome to the Don't Hate Your Guts YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Jennifer Franklin, and I'm a licensed psychologist specializing in the treatment of irritable bowel syndrome and other brain-gut disorders like functional dyspepsia and abdominal migraines, cyclic vomiting, and a whole host of other problems. My aim is to help you to learn how to heal and recover from whatever digestive issue or non-digestive functional problem that you may have. Now, let's get back to talking about the vagus nerve and how to stimulate it. The vagus or wandering nerve is, as I mentioned, your 10th cranial nerve. Cranial meaning that it starts at the brain and winds its way through the thoracic and abdominal cavity, landing in the gut. So your vagus nerve connects your brain directly with your gut. What's less known about the vagus nerve is that it actually connects your brain to a whole bunch of other organs, like the lungs, the heart, the spleen, the liver, the colon, and other parts in your abdominal and thoracic cavity. This means that your nervous system is directly linked to your digestive, circulatory, respiratory, endocrine, immune, and renal organs. So there's a lot of communication happening all the time between your brain and all of these different organs I just mentioned and more. Your vagus nerve is central to your parasympathetic nervous system. One of the functions of your parasympathetic nervous system is rest and digest. So in order to start healing and finding relief from your digestive symptoms, you definitely want to be stimulating rest and digest. And stimulating the vagus nerve in the 10 ways I'm going to talk about is going to help you to do that. All right, I'm going to get to the list of 10 things. A lot of these things are pleasant. And in general, I've been talking in my latest videos about feeling good in order to promote healing. Pleasant states, having pleasant experiences, feeling pleasant sensations and pleasant emotions, believe it or not, is one of the most important things you can do in order to help promote healing from IBS or other digestive issues or even other functional issues that are not digestive in nature. All right, so let's talk about my list. Number 1, take time to get comfortable. When you sit down somewhere, anywhere, take as much time as you need to prop pillows behind you or next to you, to get in a comfortable seated position. Don't hesitate to take extra time to do that. And if you're somebody who just jumps right into conversation, slow down, take a moment, and really get yourself in a comfortable posture. And you can change that posture, but just keep checking in to make sure that you're truly at ease and not having to put forth much effort to maintain whatever posture that is. Number 2, once you get into a comfortable seated position, or if you're laying down somewhere, it doesn't matter where you are. A good habit is to work on softening your jaw and your pelvis. I know this sounds strange, but the jaw and your pelvis tend to work together. If you've ever taken a yoga class and done some kind of big hip opener like pigeon pose, often your yoga teacher will say to soften your face and soften your jaw. So they work together. So see what you can do without forcing or pushing yourself to widen your hips as wide as you'd like them to get. And if you're a woman, Wearing skirts and dresses a lot actually impedes your ability to widen your hips. So experiment with wearing pants and shorts this summer and see how that feels. Remind yourself that it's okay to sit with your legs a little more spread apart because it helps your hips to widen. There are other ways to do this that I'm going to talk about in the blog post that goes along with this video. So just in order to keep this video short, I'm not going to talk at extensive length about each of these things, but you can read more about it in the accompanying blog post at don'thateyourguts.com. Okay, back to my list. Number 3, breathe consciously. And even more so, breathe consciously into your belly whenever possible, without forcing or pushing. 4, this is a really important one, especially right now. Connect with friends and family. Do things together that you enjoy, even if you can't be in person. Do them by Zoom or phone. Be creative in finding activities you can do together that you both enjoy. Play games with them. Play games with their kids. Laugh, smile, get silly. Watch or listen to comedy right now. You can watch with them or without them. But have fun and try to enjoy your time as much as possible. Number 5, practice meditation. There are lots of different types of meditation. I personally like to recommend insight or awareness meditation because I think the benefits are a little more conducive to the type of healing that I try to help people to gain. So I am partial to Vipassana or a mindfulness meditation, but do what feels good for you. And there's a bunch of compassion practices or metta practices that go along with Vipassana and mindfulness meditation. They go along with that tradition. And I talked about one of them in a prior video. So cultivating compassion, doing compassion type meditations is also fine, especially if it helps you to feel good. 6, feel your emotions as they arise as much as possible, especially the pleasant ones. It might be unpleasant. It is unpleasant often to have unpleasant emotions, but the more that we avoid feeling those unpleasant emotions and sensations, the more disservice we do to our bodies. So make space for the unpleasant ones as it is socially appropriate in whatever setting you're in. And definitely try to focus on really feeling the pleasant ones emotionally and sensationally in your body. 7, make sounds. Sing, hum, chant, moan, or sigh as you feel moved to. There are certain sounds that really stimulate the vagus nerve in ways that are super effective for promoting healing. Some of the lower tones are really good for that, like the kind of Om chanting that you do in yoga. That can be really helpful. 8, practice yoga. Practicing yoga has all kinds of health benefits, but one of them is that it actually stimulates the vagus nerve and really helps our nervous system to get better regulated. You can read a lot more about what yoga does for the body in some of my older blog posts. I think I did a 4-part series on that, and you might enjoy learning more about the benefits of yoga. 9, play or listen to music. If you play an instrument, play some of the lower tones and see how that feels. And what you want to try to promote is that that vibration that happens when you play some of the lower tones. What else do I want to say about that? Feel what happens in your body as you play your instrument or as you listen to music, and notice the difference that certain music has on you. And what you're trying to promote is the music that is not sleepy, but it kind of promotes sort of an easing in the body and some vibration in your chest and belly. And throat. as you're singing. Okay, 10. We made it to number 10. Spending time hanging out and being affectionate with animals. That's a great thing to do. If you have dogs, wonderful. Love them up, pet them, have them lay with you. Really enjoy the sensory experience that you have with them, with your hands and the touch. And if you have a cat, you can also get the sensory experience of their purring. If you get a cat on your chest, that's even better, because then you can start to feel the vibration, and that's really going to turn on your vagus nerve in all the ways that we're trying to. Thank you for listening. I hope this list has been helpful and helps you come up with some creative ways and fun ways for you to stimulate your vagus nerve and to turn on the rest and digest function. I want to just say one last thing about this. The more awareness that you can bring to doing any of these activities, the better, the more you're going to benefit. The more embodied you can be, the more present you can be with your feelings and sensations and senses as you practice these things, the better. The point is not to stop your symptoms. I don't think that's realistic, but to just take a little break, right? Stimulating your vagus nerve is intended to kind of break up the ineffective or dysfunctional communication patterns between your gut and your brain that are leading to or exacerbating or perpetuating your digestive symptoms. And so by stimulating the vagus nerve directly in these 10 ways, you're actually disrupting that pattern of communication and giving your body a little break. And then you can see what happens in the break. And the longer you can sustain that break, you'll have to pay attention and see what happens then. So play with it and see if you can have fun and enjoy stimulating your vagus nerve. My name is Dr. Jennifer Franklin, and this is the Don't Hate Your Guts YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to learn more about the 10 things, please go to don'thateyourguts.com, and there will be a blog post that corresponds with this. There are many other blog posts there and a lot of information there in general. You can also sign up to receive information about registration when it opens up for the webinar series that I'm actively working on. I wish I was already done with it, but it's taking a lot of time to craft it in a way that makes sense for you and is really going to be helpful. Remember, healing is a journey. You know the destination. I've got the roadmap. Don't hate your guts. Instead, discover how to heal your body.